Hello, it's Lord Slar here, coming at you with another video, and the topic of today's is the top 5 Christopher Eccleston stories. So Christopher Eccleston has possibly the smallest era of any Doctor. I mean, I know the 8th Doctor only had the TV movie, but he has a huge lineup of audios, which technically are canon, whereas Christopher Eccleston, he just has Series 1, which is a shame because Series 1 was definitely the best of New Who, and it was pretty darn good, and probably the only series in New Who I'd define as very good. To be honest, I'm not even sure if I'd define any of the series New Who as even good, but either way, it's a great series he has, and, well, he doesn't have that many episodes to his name, but some of them are pretty good, so let's just get right into it. So at number 5 we have Father's Day. So I'm not the biggest fan of this episode, but with so little episodes to his name, you're bound to come up with, at number 5 a story which you're neither here nor there on. I mean, the Reapers kind of contradict a huge chunk of Doctor Who, because, obviously he's changing time all the time. Why aren't they there all the time? But let's just ignore that for a moment, and it's functional as a story. It's pretty good. I can't. There's nothing too much to fault. It's not great. I just think it's all right. There's nothing really much to say about it, particularly because I don't have any strong feelings, and that's kind of why it ended up at number 5. So at number 4 we have Boomtown, an episode usually quite disliked by people, which I find quite odd. It always does very badly in the episode polls, but I don't quite understand because I quite enjoy it. I mean, sure, it's mainly because I really like the chemistry between the Ninth Doctor, Rose, and Captain Jack. They just work together. That fits together really nicely for me. And those three stories at the end of Series 1, absolutely fantastic. And that was kind of the high point of New Who, in my opinion. But, oh well, shame they had to split up. Even if the reason was a little but that's for another day. Either way, this episode, well, it's a pretty good one. It's got a whole morality thing going, like, is it right to send people back to somewhere if they're going to get killed, which reflects events going on at the time with, like, Abu Qatada going to get, exiled from the UK to, I think it was America or something, or some place where he was going to, might have got, put to death. So, is it right to send them there, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it works. Even if the ending's a little it still plays around with the morality thing enough to keep you invested for an episode, as well as all the chemistry. It just works as a story. It just works. So now we're getting into the really, really, really good stories. So at number 3 we have The Empty Child slash The Doctor Dances. Wow, this was back when Stephen Moffat was good. It's got some good scares, a great story, interesting concepts, great characters. Just everything about the story is fantastic. And I mean, sure, the kind of Doctor Dances being a bit, innuendo-y is a bit odd, but I can overlook that in what is just a really, really fun and enjoyable to watch episode. Again, it has, that group of Jack, Rose, and Nine, which obviously I really like, but also it's a brilliantly written story with the whole nanogene thing. There's some great ideas here, and it's just outstanding. There's not really too much to say which hasn't already been said, so let's just end it here. So at number 2 we have Bad Wolf slash Parting of the Ways. Wow, this episode is great. If there's one thing I don't like about it, it's the ending. The ending's horrible, awful, and I hate it with all my heart. And it would have been number 1 if it wasn't for the shitty ending, which actually makes it go from one of my favourite Doctor Who episodes to a pretty, really good Doctor Who episode, but could have been a lot better. I mean, seriously, the ending I hate, but let's get over that. Let's talk about the good aspects. It's an amazing Dalek story. Russell T Davies clearly understood the Daleks in season 1. I don't know how he then proceeded to not understand the Daleks later on, but oh well. In this story, they're absolutely brilliant, and I love those dark moments, like where rather than going up to complete their objective and kill the Ninth Doctor, instead they go down to kill all the people on floor 0 just because, well, that's what Daleks do. They hate people. That shows really good understanding of the Daleks, and it's creepy and it's scary, and that's how you do the Daleks effectively, and I'm glad that was in. There was also lots of plenty of other good moments in this. The whole Satellite 5 thing with all the games and people being sent away there. It was some really dark stuff. And we need more of that in New Who, just some really dark stories. And this worked. The ending was absolutely shit and I hate it. But the story leading up to that was absolutely brilliant. So, at number 1, we have my favourite New Who story of all time, Dalek. It's absolutely fucking brilliant. I mean, what else do you expect? Something written by Robert Sherman. He is a godly writer. Everybody loves him. Please come back to Doctor Who, Robert. We all miss you. But either way, this episode is brilliant. You know how I said the last one, Bad with Partner of the Ways, shows very good understanding of the Daleks? Well, this one does that tenfold. It's just superb. I mean, think about back then. Most people watching didn't know what a Dalek was or had heard of them but didn't quite know what they were. So this episode kind of had to show that. And it kind of harkens back to the line from the Daleks' master plan where the Dalek says one Dalek is capable of exterminating all. That's what happens in this episode. It uses its clever, how intelligent it is to eliminate people with its tough armor and its sturdy laser could be. Because, you've got to make this new audience frightened of the Daleks again. Because, at this point, people have changed and obviously there's some kids back in 2005 who may not have been scared of little pepper pots, so you need to show that they're scary. And this story does that super effectively. I loved it when I first watched it, even if I can barely remember that because I was like 6. I love it now. It's a fantastic story. My favourite New Who of all time, probably about 15th favourite of all time. It's fantastic, and just people really need to do more Dalek stories like Power of the Daleks and Dalek, because they understand the Daleks. They make the Daleks creepy and scary, and that's good. We miss that. But anyway, that was my top 10 Christopher Eccleston, no, top 5 Christopher Eccleston stories, not top 10. And see you back next time in another video.